Ukrainian SU-27 strikes continue across all fronts. A battalion HQ and a group of Russian drone operators were wiped out in Novorodivka by JDAM bombs. Russian forces attempted to break through Ukrainian defenses with infantry on motorcycles. The assault was repelled by the 12th Special Forces Brigade Azov and the 49th Separate Assault Battalion Carpathian-Sich during a joint operation. In a bold and unconventional move, Russian forces recently attempted to break through Ukrainian defenses using infantry mounted on motorcycles. This unorthodox assault, which is considered one of the more bizarre tactics employed by Russia, aimed to exploit gaps in Ukrainian defensive lines. However, the attack was quickly neutralized thanks to the swift and coordinated response of Ukrainian forces. The assault occurred in a heavily contested region where both sides have been vying for control of key strategic positions. Russian forces, using motorcycles to enhance mobility and evade detection, attempted to storm Ukrainian positions. The choice of motorcycles was an interesting one, as it allowed the infantry to traverse difficult terrain with greater speed and flexibility, making them harder to target from long distances. This move was seen as an effort to bypass Ukrainian minefields and heavy fortifications, which have been a significant obstacle to conventional infantry movements. However, the innovative tactic of Russian forces was met with a fierce and well-executed counteroffensive. The Ukrainian 12th Special Forces Brigade, known as Azov, and the 49th Separate Assault Battalion, Carpathian-Sich, quickly mobilized and coordinated their efforts to neutralize the advancing forces. The 12th Special Forces Brigade, renowned for their specialized training and expertise in urban and guerrilla warfare, played a crucial role in this operation. With a reputation for exceptional adaptability in difficult combat environments, Azov forces were able to track the Russian motorcycle units and execute precise strikes against them. Meanwhile, the 49th Separate Assault Battalion, a highly experienced and battle-hardened unit, brought in additional firepower and coordinated a simultaneous counterattack to ensure the Russian forces could not establish a foothold. The success of the operation highlighted the strength of Ukrainian combined arms tactics and the importance of inter-unit cooperation. The Carpathian-Sich battalion, known for its mobility and heavy assault capabilities, was crucial in ensuring that any remaining Russian forces were either neutralized or forced to retreat. Together, these two Ukrainian units were able to repel the Russian forces, pushing them back and preventing a breakthrough in Ukrainian lines. In the aftermath of the failed assault, Ukrainian commanders credited the effectiveness of the operation to the high level of training and preparation of their forces. The ability to swiftly adapt to the unexpected use of motorcycles and counter with such precision was seen as a testament to the professionalism and agility of the Ukrainian military. This incident is just one example of the constant evolution of tactics in the ongoing conflict. Both sides are continually adapting to the changing battlefield, employing new strategies and technologies to gain an edge. Russian forces, having faced numerous setbacks in their attempt to break through Ukrainian defenses, are resorting to increasingly unconventional methods to overcome Ukrainian fortifications. However, as this operation demonstrated, the Ukrainian forces are more than capable of handling such tactics with skill and resilience. The use of motorcycles by Russian infantry also highlights the difficulties that both sides face in maintaining effective logistics and support in the conflict. In an environment where traditional armored vehicles and heavy artillery are often impeded by difficult terrain and strategic defensive positions, mobility becomes an essential factor. Russian forces, recognizing this limitation, have turned to faster and more agile methods to attempt breakthroughs. However, as the joint efforts of the 12th Special Forces Brigade and the 49th Separate Assault Battalion showed, the effectiveness of mobility alone cannot compensate for lack of coordination, training, and intelligence. High-quality, badass footage. Ukrainian drone with fiber optic control destroys a Russian bunker from the inside. No signal interference let the operator spot a net at the entrance, maneuver around it, and strike deep into the fortification. Combat work by Signum Unit, 53rd Brigade. Ukrainian drone pilots have gained a reputation for their exceptional skills in both reconnaissance and offensive operations. Trained to operate various drones from small tactical UAVs to larger systems, These pilots use advanced technology to gather intelligence, target Russian positions, and disrupt enemy logistics. Their precision, adaptability, and quick decision-making in high-pressure environments make them a crucial asset in modern warfare. Ukraine's Navy spokesperson Pletenchuk says the Kerch Bridge is packed with illegal tourists heading into occupied Crimea during May holidays, despite knowing it's an active war zone. If they want to become collateral damage, that's their choice, he said. Warning strikes will continue.
On the bridge right now, there are actually a large number of these illegal tourists. Yes, they have their these May holidays, a week-long binge to be precise, and accordingly, many have decided that it must be spent in our Crimea. So yes, well, it's actually a difficult target to hit. That is, I think, the biggest difficulty is precisely those civilians whom we wouldn't want to be associated with terrorists. Am I correct? Well, you know, they can link us to anything, even to the children of Satan. It doesn't matter at all. Because Moses is, in principle, these are combat operations. Also, and those who, go to the territory occupied by the Russians, those who join this crime of the Russian Federation, they need to understand the risks they are taking. They need to understand that they are going to a combat zone operations. And they all have the internet. And of course, in Russia, they also know what's happening in Crimea. That something is constantly exploding there. So, roughly speaking, if they want to become collateral damage, well, that is their personal choice. And we can't help them here, okay? Ukraine, for its part, okay, is, as you see from the outcomes in Crimea itself, minimizes collateral losses practically to zero. If these losses were happening, the Russians would definitely show them. And also, as they say, covered with ashes, as they said about our destroyed houses.
In Washington, the Immortal Regiment march took place, the first time in 6 years. Russian media called it a march through the American capital. One of the central themes, the proxy conflict in Ukraine, which participants, predictably, do not view as a war of Russia against Ukraine. Make no mistake, Putin is the president and leader of these people. I don't believe their goal is the great USA. In fact, I think it's quite the opposite.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.